Hey guys, so I'm here with another video for you today, and just a quick disclaimer, my family are listening to old movies next door, so if you hear that in the background, that's all that is. So I apologise for that, but today I wanted to do a video addressing study tips, and I know that it's a little maybe early to talk about these sort of tips, but I think it's a good idea because basically one of my tips have to do with this, and the reason that I'm starting this series early, and let's just get into it so that I can tell you all my thoughts and stuff, and let's just get into it. I got my little notebook here just with little ideas and stuff, just so that I can keep track and actually remember what I'm wanting to talk about. So the first thing that I would advise you to do is start early. The earlier you start studying, the less that you have to cram, and the more you get, like, you have more time to space out everything that you want to learn instead of having to rush it all in like study leave week. So definitely start earlier, and that'll help you a lot. The next thing that I would say is make a schedule. What I mean by this is plan out every single detail of your life. Now, I know that you're not going to work exactly to this scale. There are going to be times, but it helps you visualize it. That's the thing that is important in all this. It helps you visualize it, and it helps you figure out, right, at this time I would like to be studying, and it kind of helps you basically sort out your mind and find out what you have to do in a day. Of course, you don't have to work to the routine, the schedule. I mean, the schedule is literally just there so that you can have it clear in your mind. The next tip that I've got is study for 30 minutes a night. So I use this tip a lot, and it helps me so much. So all I do is on my phone, I'll set 30 minutes on a timer, and I'll put my phone away on the other side of the room or somewhere out of reach that I won't be tempted to go and get it, basically. And I'll just do whatever I want, whether that's typing something up, reading something, highlighting something, making little notes and stuff. It doesn't matter. Just for that 30 minutes, that's all I'm doing and nothing else. Because what starts to happen is when you get more work, say you've got an essay one night, so you put your timer on for 30 minutes and you start going and you start writing this essay, and you're getting really good at it, you're getting really far in it, and then the timer goes off and you're halfway through one of the paragraphs. So you go, no wait, I'd rather finish off this paragraph that I'm on at least, and then call it a night there. So you're extending that a little bit, and also, so that would help you as well, because although it's only half an hour, you can get so much work done in half an hour if you put your mind to it. And I do this and it works wonders for me. I just, as I said, set a timer on my phone, put it on the other side of the room, do whatever I've got to do, and in that half an hour I can go and do whatever I want. I can go and make some food, I can go and have a shower, have a bath, do whatever I want to do, and it basically slots that into your mind that it's only for half an hour, and once I'm done I can get on with whatever else I need to do. I think it works for me, so it might work for some of you too. The next tip that I have for you guys is to make notes, make little reminders everywhere. This is how I make reminders. I have on my desk, I have my diary. I have it open on the week, and on that week it shows me everything that I need to do, every stupid little detail. If you think it's not worth putting it in, put it in, because you'll probably end up, there's a high chance you'll forget about it. There's a high chance that you'll forget about it, especially if you're someone like me who forgets everything. So I put it in my diary, leave my diary open. I also have a little organizer that I showed you in my haul last week, and basically all I would do there is write every little thing that I need to do. As I said, everything that I need to do, and then everything that I need to do on that day, and I just check off as I go. And then I've got my chalkboard on the wall next to my bed, and I write everything that I've got, something like the major thing that I've got for basically the next couple of days. And then I've got my calendar, which on my calendar I obviously write in every date and everything that I've got. That's more for the big stuff, where my diary's for the little things, and my organizer's for everything, and my whiteboard's just for like the next thing. So I feel like that helps me. It helps me remember. Whenever I see something, I always go, oh yeah, I've got to do that, I need to remember to do that. And you don't even have to do it in this way, even just get sticky notes, and if you're a coffee drinker like me, stick it on your jar of coffee in the morning, so that when you go to get that coffee, you see the little, forgot what it called, sticky notes, and you're just like, alright, okay, I need to do that. And it helps you, little impromptu reminders, and I swear it'll help you a lot. I do this obviously quite a lot, and it works for me. I don't tend to forget anything unless I forget to write it in. That's the only fault I would have to say with this. You need to make sure that you write everything in. But all in all, it works really well for me, and I would definitely recommend this tip. Next thing that I would give the suggestion to do is break down all your tasks. Say you've got a big essay to write and you're feeling overwhelmed by it. Break it down, break it into little tiny parts. So you've got one paragraph, that's your opening, that's where you're going to say what it's about, what you're doing it for, what points that you're going to bring up. Basically do an overall of the entire essay, and then you can move on to the next paragraph and talk about the first point that you put in the first one, and basically do it like that, and then eventually it'll be a lot less to deal with, and you'll get your work done with a little less stress. So that's that works for me. If I'm getting overwhelmed by something, I just go, hang on a minute, right, this is what I need to do. I need to do this, 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 and this. How am I going to do that? Okay, I need to take this bit and break it down into this, so that it's smaller bits that I can handle a lot easier than big tasks that overwhelm me and make me panic, make me stress out. So, as I said, if it works for me, it'll work for some of you too. My next bit of advice is make your work bright and colourful. Put big squiggly lines, big designs and stuff on it. Make it so inviting that when you look at it, or if someone was to look at it, they would go, what's this? And they would actually pick it up and read it. Like, when I was younger, I used to just write things out on a bit of paper and that would be it. Lately, I've discovered that if you use different colours, put everything everywhere, little spider diagrams, colour code everything, it works wonders for your brain. It just makes you visualise it a whole lot more. And when you go into that exam, you could go, right, that's the purple bit I need to remember here, and that's the little blue bit that I done, and that's the orange bit. Seriously, make it colourful, make it appealing to you, so that it makes you want to study maybe a little bit more. Even if your teacher looks at it and thinks that it's a load of nonsense, if it works for you, it works for you, and that's all that you need to remember here. My next point is kind of 2 points in one. what I would say to you is write it for someone else. Pretend that you're writing this essay for someone else, and it's someone who doesn't know a single thing about the topic you're writing about. So say, like, I had to write essays on childcare when I was doing that course. I would write that entire essay as if the person had never heard of what childcare was, never heard of anything to do with childcare, and that's basically how I worked it, and it worked for me. It got me quite good marks, and it's also quite interesting, and it also helps you jog your memory to see what you do actually know and what you need to study on. So that's another good point for this bit of information that I'm giving to you. So if that works for you, then great. My next tip for you is to lay everything out, whether this is put everything up on your wall in blue tack that you've got to do, and so you have the visual image of everything, or lay it out on the floor. Just if you need to clean your floors completely and put all your work down, and then it helps you visualize what you need to do. This works for me. I pin everything up on this wall, and I take everything down one by one, and I make sure that I know what I stick up on the wall so that I can see everything that I've got to do. It just helps me visualize it so much more, so much easier than just to have it in a little pile on my desk, because I get to see everything. It helps me, so again, it might help one of you. Make a realistic to-do list. Now, what I mean by this is, do you ever have one of those lists that looks a bit like this? Finish English essay. Try again. Finish English essay. Complete maths questions. I don't know. Finish German assignment. Finish art folio. Something that looks a bit like that. So basically what I mean by this is breaking it down. This kind of goes to my point earlier, but break it down completely. Go, right, I've got that English essay to do. So how am I going to do that? I need to break it into little manageable pieces. Okay, that maths question, that's a full page from a textbook. And it's to be handed in at this point. I've got this much of time to do it, so I should do this much each night, do a row of questions every night, and then I should be done in time. Just work it somehow that way, and leave I know that it's all homework and studying and it might not be fun, but find the one that you enjoy most and put that to the end, unless it's due first, then obviously do that first. But basically put the funnest subject to the end, so that's something that you've got to enjoy. Like whenever I got homework, I would always leave art to the last thing that I had to do, because I enjoyed art no matter what it was. I always enjoyed doing art no matter what. So I would leave art to the last possible thing I had to do, so that I could have as much free time as I wanted with it. That's an extra tip. I wasn't actually thinking of putting that in. So there you go, you've got an extra tip. My last tip is to take regular breaks while you're studying. There's no point in studying a whole load of work if it's not going in. And what I mean by this is, don't study for 5 minutes and then take a half an hour break. I would say study until you feel that you're not taking in any of the stuff that's on the page. Study until you can't take that in anymore, go away, make some lunch or some food, or go outside, take a breather, do whatever you want to do, just maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then go back and start studying again and work it that way so that you're actually taking in the information and not just basically looking at a page and hearing the words but not really taking in the words. That's all the tips I've got for you today, and I hope some of these were helpful at all to use. If they are, then that's wonderful. And I will see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day, and if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up because that will just make my little day. And as I said, have a wonderful day. Bye guys.